YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we have here a Malice deck. And yes, I know you're fed up with the Malice in rank. I know it's annoying. But don't worry, this is a different version. So I've been meaning to test this one out way back. But I think in the TCG, they only have like one copy of Circular. And even with the one copy, it was very strong. But how much more if you have 3 copies of Circular in your deck? So I tried the previous version where I have 47 cards, and that with 2 Sigmas, a couple of Chaos Hunters, a Lancia. I tested the deck out for a time, and this is the best number of copies that I can make with the deck. So we are not using Lancias because by the time after like a couple of days, people are just going back into their previous decks, like the Labyrinth, Fire King, Snake Eyes, even Mermail is coming back into play. Mementos are coming back, so they're going back to their old decks. And Lance is not really like the best card to have in some of those decks. So practically just remove that and get the significant ones. Just the one copy of Hunter, the one Nib. It's all you need. A couple of Imperms, some Maxis, and Ash. That's basically it. And of course, the reason I've played with MathMech is because once I tried playing Malice during the start of its release, it was an easy grind. I almost got into Master 5 just because of it. But after a while, I got bored and I was thinking, what if we add MathMech into this deck as well? Because it's also Cybers, and plus, it's an easy access to the same thing, which is Dark Fluid. Like I said earlier, Circular on 3 was pretty good, pretty insane, and with the help of the silent mining, gains you a lot of advantage on what Malice or MathMech cards that you need to your hand. And any card whatsoever from the Malice side is basically one card starter. You go Underground, one card starter. You go Silent Mining into Dormouse, one card starter. White Rabbit, Dormouse, everything here. Even the copy of Gold Sark is basically a one card starter as well for your gameplay. It's always good. Another good reason why you want to play MathMechs with this deck, because in case your opponent dumps a copy of Lancia, or summons a Chaos Hunter in the field, or uses the Iron Wall, then you just basically play with your graveyard. So you can't banish, you just play with your graveyard, summoning back monsters from the grave to the field. And that's basically what MathMech is for. And you still go into the same monster on the field, which is Terahertz. Or not, you can go into Access Code Talker. But yeah, like I said, one of the places that you can actually go into. Other cards that is non-Malice cards is just the Alambertian and a copy of Laplacian, which is primarily one of your good starters, or additional negates if ever you have this on the field once you got the diameter on one of them. So it's still pretty good. So far, like I said, 47 cards was too much, so I lowered it down to 44, and this is the perfect ratio for both two archetypes in one deck. And like I said, I played this for a couple of times, and I have a ruling for decks that if it won like 3 out of 5 in a game, then it's good enough for me. Wherein, of course, I tried it with earlier. It got 4 wins out of 5, which is practically what I wanted to see from the deck. So yeah, that's my own experimentation, guys, and my own results. So it's up to you if you want to use this anyways. But like I said, it was a pretty good grind though. I am satisfied with the two archetypes played together. You can check this one out. I'll be posting this deck list in the comment section below. And with that, I will be showcasing the replays, of course, and I'll be narrating. So yeah, stay tuned and see you guys in the replays. Okay? Alright, so here we are with our first game, and we are going first. Now, I'm going to showcase you guys the full board that you can do with a 1 copy of Circular plus any Malice cards. Like I said earlier, White Rabbit, Dormouse, one of the field spells is basically or Underground is your 1 card starter. So that's pretty much it. A really good hand at this point. And if ever your opponent dumps a copy of Maxi, we have Ash Possum for starters. White Rabbit, 1 Hare, 1 Circular, and a copy of MTP 07. So we start off our combo here. Like always, try to bait out any like Ash Blossoms or Maxi. So Circular, dump Sigma. Sigma Spell summons. Circular adds. Get a copy of Super Factorial. At this point, there were no triggers. But once we got into Alimbertian in the field. Alimbertian tried to search a copy of the Amateur. We got Ashed. Nevertheless, like I said earlier, once they bait out, or once you bait out the interruptions, you start off our combo here. So go into a copy of White Rabbit. We set our copy of MTP at the moment, just in case we can't search. We can just use the effect of the MTP. We go into a copy of Splash Mage. Splash Mage, get a copy of White Rabbit, and link up into a copy of Red Ransom. Red Ransom, get a copy of Underground here. Underground banish, and then get a copy of Chessy Cat to the field. Chessy Cat, banish a copy of Hair to draw 2 cards. Hair adds back to hand. And with this, we banish 1 White Rabbit from the graveyard, spell summon it again to the field, and we have a lot of bodies that you can go into. So 1 monster goes into a copy of Link Decoder, and then lastly go into a copy of White Binder. White Binder can banish 1, that would be a Red Ransom, and then Link Decoder will be back to the field. Now take note, we haven't used the trap cards here, plus we already got a copy of MATCHMECH Super Factorial, the Super Factorial. And then go Red Ransom back to the field, banish a copy of Dormouse, Dormouse on the field. We don't need to use the effect because we already got a ton of advantage at this point. And then lastly, with the remaining cards, we go into Tempest. Dark Fluid, dump me a copy of the Save Worm, and lastly, go into a copy of Firewall Dragon. Now, at this point, I was waiting for a Nibiru here because I have a copy of Nibiru. So I just kept Crossout Designator on my hand just in case he dumps a copy of Nibiru. So with that, we have still a pretty good board, to be honest. Dark Fluid on the field, Firewall Dragon, a copy of GWC, MTP, and the TB11. Plus the Red Ransom, the White Binder, the Save Worm in the graveyard, and a couple of Malice cards that you can banish for their protection, no damage intake, and whatever. Cannot be targeted by card effects. So it's either one of those. And we have an Ash Blossom as well on our hand. So that's pretty insane for a board. Okay, so at this point, during his turn, we dump a copy of, I think we did dump the Amateur to the graveyard for this. But yeah, our guy's gonna go for Underground, banishing a copy of White Rabbit. There you go. That's the Amateur in the grave, so that our Super Factorial will have a negate. Our guy is gonna get a copy of White Rabbit to the field, then getting one of the trap cards here. But before that, we go into Super Factorial, summoning 3 monsters, and then going into Laplacian. Sorry, Alimbertian is not level 4. Laplacian to the field. And then upon summon, remove 3, remove 1 card in the field. On the spell trap card zone, 1 monster and 1 card on hand from your opponent. Our guy is going to use the MTP, but we got Ash here. He's going to use the effect of March here, which is not really a big problem. I don't need to do anything since I will just remove that card on the field. So with the Laplacian, remove 1 card on hand, 1 monster, and back row, or the field spell. It's either one of those cards that I can choose. And with that, I still have 3 additional cards in the back row, plus the Save Worm to finish. So that is your full board. Let's go into game number 2, where I'll try to break some boards with this deck. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so game number 2, we have Ash Blossom, White Rabbit, MATCHMECH Circular, a copy of Equation, and Malice in Underground. Now we're going up against Malice here, and he's going first. So let's see what this guy can do. So he summons a copy of White Rabbit to the field, gaining access to TB11. TB11, banish, spell summon a copy of Dormouse, summons back a copy of White Rabbit to the field, and going to Lizardos. Lizardos will banish Dormouse, and Dormouse will be back on the field. There you go, Dormouse banish, Chessy Cat summoned to the field. I think he goes into Link Decoder here, I think. Right before he goes or banishes 1 more card just for the draw. So he goes into a copy of Red Ransom, Chain Link 1, Link Decoder, Chain Link 2, going into Appaloosa next. That's a pretty good card actually to start off, just to, you know, avoid Nibiru. But anyways, Red Ransom gaining a copy of Underground banish, getting a copy of Hair back to the hand, and going for Appaloosa here for the 2 cards. Banish a copy of Red Ransom from the hair, and then Red Ransom summon back to the field, banishing Dotscaper to the field. And that with the last 3 cards going into a copy of Terahertz. Terahertz dump a copy of, or try to dump a copy of the Save Worm. We go for Appaloosa. I wanted to ash this just to bait out a copy of Appaloosa here. And he did dump a copy of the Save Worm here, which is alright, I guess. Like I said earlier, we will bait out some interruptions with the MATCHMECH first. Then we go with our starter from the Malice, which is Underground. So with this, during our turn, we got a good card to have, which is Subtraction. So I need to target first Appaloosa here, just so to avoid any more monster negations or interruptions, which of course he'll just negate. And Terahertz will dump 1 more card to the grave. I forgot what he dumped here anyways. Oh, he dumped a copy of Code Soul. Okay, not too bad. So with this, Circular sends a copy of Sigma to the grave. Spell summons Circular. We will try to summon Sigma, but we got interrupted by the Save Worm. Oh, Juice Worm, I mean. Juice Worm banishes a copy of Sigma, so we can't do anything else, but we can normal summon Subtraction here. We tried to search out a copy of the Super Factorial. He doesn't know that I have a copy of Equation in hand, so that might he might think that I don't have the copy of Equation, so he ashed that one. Nevertheless, we still have 1 more, so link off into Splash Mage here just to bait out that back row, which practically he did. So that was technically Imperm here. So that's 1 more negate. And lastly, we tried to use Equation just to bait out the Save Worm, which he did as well. And I'm just hoping at this point that there are no Lancias or whatsoever. So once I activated Underground just to get the Dormouse, we were good. So Dormouse to the field, banishing Chessy-Cat here. Then we go for Link Decoder next. Then Chessy-Cat dump or banishes White Rabbit for 2 draws, which is pretty good. We got a hair. White Rabbit to the field, gaining access to a copy of MTP. Now, we could have won this game. We could have won this game. The reason for that is, honestly guys, I forgot. I really thought that Dark Fluid gains you 3,000 attack. I was really wrong about this. It only gains you 2,500 attack. I was so wrong about this. I'm 400 short. And to top it all off, I don't have enough attack power to go into another attack. So it was so bad. So bad. I could have gone dump multiplication to the graveyard, which my brain cells wasn't working. Instead of multiplication, I dumped a copy of the Save Worm to the grave. And it was so horrible. But yeah, Link Decoder to the field, go for an attack, and goddamn, I was very confident that it increased to 3,000. Anyways, I tried to salvage the remaining cards. I could have won that game. But Hair Banish, going to Red Ransom here, getting a spell card, which of course luckily doesn't have any other interruptions. MTP Banish, get a copy of Hair here for the next turn. And then banish some to the field, banish 1 more card. We don't have anything to banish, but of course just Dotscaper to the field, set our mirror, and that's basically it. My only problem here is this boy right here. If this attacks me, I'm basically dead. So this is basically what I need. So there we go. Our guy's gonna go for Hair here, banish White Rabbit to the field, gaining 1 more trap card. I think he got MTP. No, he got WC here. Forgot about this game. Jessica normal sum to the field and going for White Binder next. White Binder, banish 3 cards there. And the Deceiver will target my Red Ransom. Luckily, we still have a copy of Malice. He will trigger this, and I forgot what he dumped here. I think he dumped a copy of Aggregator here. I forgot. I think that's the only card that he dumped to the graveyard. But anyways, GWC summons Dormouse to the field, and yes, he dumped Aggregator. And then banishing the 3 cards. Use the effect of the Chessy-Cat, the Hair, and then use the Aggregator to target my field spell, which is alright. Then we go into Red Ransom next. Now I'm trying to get another Underground for the next turn. but I think we got ashed here. I forgot. Yes, I think we got ashed. So summon Jessica to the field, White Rabbit to the field, and go for Red Ransom. He will ash this, so I was thinking, since I want to play this correctly by the next turn, I wanted to have one more Malice card on the field, so I just forced my hand into a Nibiru here. So Nibiru on the field, and by the time it hits, my White Rabbit will be safe. There you go. So that's wiping all the board, or wiping all the cards on the board. And that would be White Rabbit to the field, gaining access to one more trap card. And with that, we still have 3 cards on the field that we can go into any Malice cards. So we still have Malice GWC, first spell summoning 1 monster from the banish or in my graveyard. So there we go. We go for Heart Scriptor, removing 1 card from the banish pile and removing 1 card in the field. He will trigger the effect of Hair on Hand. We go for GWC, spell summoning 1 more monster to the field. There you go, and gaining 3,000 or 2,300 to my life points. Red Ransom gains 1 more spell card, and that's him deducting his life. So he can't anymore summon, and all I need at this point is just 1 more monster for the end of the game. So banish 1 more card, banish the mirror, spell summoning 1 body to the field with a White Rabbit, and then we go for attack. So yeah, 1 misplay almost cost me the game at that point. But luckily, we actually survived. So yeah, pretty good. So that's game number 2. Let's go move on to game number 3. Alright, so for our next game, we have Ash Blossom, we have Diameter, we have Circular, Called by the Grave, and a copy of Underground, which is pretty good though. So let's start off here. Circular, dump Sigma to the grave. We got Lancia. So I was thinking I really wanted to use my Malice card, so I must Call by the Grave Lancia here. Sad to say, he has a second Lancia, so I was forced to play only MATCHMECH here, which was not too bad, I guess. Anyways, so there we go. I was forced to play only MATCHMECH, which is not really a big problem, and that's one of the things that I am aiming for this deck. If I got Lancia, then I'm just gonna play MATCHMECH. So Alemberkian next. Since we already got the Super Factorial and the Diameter, which is not too bad. We get Subtraction next. Normal summon the Diameter. Spell summon Circular. Go for Link Summon into Splash Mage. Splash. Spell summon 1 more monster. Link Decoder. Then go into Transcode here. Your typical Link plays. Summon the Link Decoder. It would be pretty good, right? If I got the Heat Soul, but yeah, nevertheless. Then go for Terahertz. With this, Link Decoder in the field, and that is our play. There you go. So, not too bad, even though we didn't run into our Malice line. It wasn't too bad. Our guys are going to go for Rates Off here. We will Ash that, of course. And he will Call by. So, technically, we will Save Worm that one. So that's 2 cards on hand, and the only thing we can do here is go for Super Factorial, spell summon our bodies to the field since he already used his Called by. Special summon 3 bodies here, and then going into the Laplacian play. There we go. Use the effect of Laplacian, remove 2, send 1 card. Oh, we actually got the Primate Dragon there. And goes into normal summoning the Drill and Lockbird into the Typhon. Typhon used the effect. He forgot the effect of Laplacian that can negate. And that's the only thing he can do here is just go for battle, and that's what he did. So there we go. End the turn. And on the next turn, I was free to move with my Malice cards. And your typical stuff. You know, Subtraction, minus that. Dormouse, Banish. White Rabbit to the field. There you go. Set 1 monster. And lastly, just finish off the game with a copy of Cryptor Hearts. Or Heart Scriptor. There you go. Summons back to the field and gains a significant amount of attack, which is pretty good. And then go for battle. So we have more than lethal, and that's it. So, interesting game. Let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, so this is our last game. We start off with Diameter, 1 Chaos Hunter, 2 Cold Buys, and 1 Crossout. Pretty good hand though, but we're not going first either ways. Either first or second. We don't have the best of hand. We're going up against Brandon, by the way, so this is going to be really tough. But luckily, he bricked also. So I'm just going to fast forward this for like 6 turns, I guess. So set those. We draw into an Ash, which is pretty good for Brandon Fusion. Main phase 2 is gonna high spirits that. I was very confident because I have 2 Cold Buys on the field. Okay, turn 4, we go for Emperor. I know, it happens. It happens to the best of us, guys. Alright, so let's stop the fast forward because we got a copy of our starter. Circular dump Sigma to the field. And our guy is going for Lancey, and I was thinking, alright, sure. I'm not using the banish pile, so why not, yeah? So Circular, summon to the field, Sigma to the graveyard, Diameter to the field, summons the Sigma, and then use the effect of Circular to add a copy of Equation. So we're pretty good. Go into Splash Mage next. Splash Mage, spell summon a body to the field. Link Decoder, your typical Link Climb. Transcode next. Spell summon the Link Decoder, and then spell summon the Splash Mage. With the last monster, go for Terahertz, and this is it. Super Polymerization. So my 2 monsters going for Ignister Golem. Oh god damn, this card is crazy. We go for Sigma since we haven't used its effect. Use for Equation, summon the body to the field just to get a copy of Super Factorial. Now take note, I can't banish my card because of the Lancia here that he did. So typically our Sigma is still in the graveyard that we can actually use for the next turn. So there we go. And plus we have the negation from the Alambertian during this turn. So yes, Perfactorial will be set, and we have a buttload of back rows. That's pretty good. So our guys are going to go for Brandon Fusion. We go for Super Factorial. Going into our Laplacian play. There you go. Some 3 bodies. Yada yada yada. And then he's gonna go into directly to Mirror Jade, which is not too bad, right? So Mirror Jade to the field. Our patient is gonna discard 2 cards, 1 from the from the monster zone and 1 from his hand. He'll use the effect of Mirror Jade. We will negate it with the Laplacian. So there you go. And then use the effect of Laplacian. Send the Mirror Jade to the graveyard plus 1 card on the hand. He will use the effect of Mirror Jade. We will call by that, of course. Yada yada yada. Since we will also call by Albion, by the way, just for safekeeping. And our guy is going for triple tactics thrust, so he already used the effect of Brandon Fusion, so not too bad. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Albion. We called by that also. And at this point, I just want him to not do anything. So there you go. He's gonna get a copy of Branded in High Spirits. And that's basically his turn. So during my turn, he's gonna go for Fusion Duplication, I mean. Going for Rim Drum. We will, of course, imperm that because that's no use to him on the field. Get a copy of Circular next. We'll summon the Sigma, normal summon our Hair, and go into a Red Ransom for our Underground. If he Ash this, we already got Crossout Designator on the back row just in case, so it's still pretty good. Banish Dormouse, Dormouse summon to the field. Banish White Rabbit to the field, and we're great here. Get a copy of MTP, and then going for White Binder. Banish the cards, and also his Fallen Valbaz. I wasn't too sure why he didn't use the effect of, what you call that? The trap card here, Retribution. But okay, it's alright. So MTP, get us 1 card, and then... Or that's basically the spell summon, right? Anyways, he surrendered, and that is basically our game for today, guys. What are your thoughts on the MathMech and the Malice? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. And like I said earlier, deck profile is going to be in the comment section as well. Alright, so see you later, guys. Have a great day. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.